says that today we're supposed to be doing...
Name review!
No, we're supposed to be doing a book review today.
Oh.
In about 5 seconds. Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Hello, and welcome to Dark Sharks Animations. We are the characters of Dark Shark Animations and the animators. And today we're going to be doing a book review. And
First of all, I'm Rick. She's Kylie.
And we're doing a book review today about the Westing game, and our personal assistant here is going to ask us questions, our camera woman. So, yay.
All right. So, can you give me a brief summary of the book?
Well, there is this guy named Barney Northrop that invites people to stay in Sunset Towers.
And so, while they all have apartments in the Sunset Towers, they find out that Sam Westing was murdered or killed, and they have to go to his funeral, and they have to listen to his will, and his will says something about a game, so they have to play a game to find out who was the murderer. But the will says it's not what you have, it's what you don't have. So they go through the game and they have a fun time, and they kind of turn against each other, a couple of them. And the game takes forever. And there's so many exciting parts, and then it's like, oh, that's it. But there are really interesting clues, and it's a very good book for a mystery horror reader.
So you said there were some exciting parts. Which part did you find exciting, Rourke?
Well, I don't really know.
Well, one of my exciting parts was when one of the characters named Turtle, she was accused of being the bomber, and she wasn't the bomber. Instead, it was her sister. So she tried to protect her sister and said, oh, well, I was the bomber. So that was a really thrilling part for me because it was very twisted. And there are other parts that are very twisted in the story that are really good explanations.
Rourke, who was your favorite character?
My favorite character. Honestly, I think Turtle is my favorite character.
Why? Tell me a little bit about Turtle.
Turtle Wexler.
Well, she I don't know how to explain.
She's got an attitude and she has her own personality. She's pretty much my favorite character too because she has a very strong personality, and she is always in her own world, and she's very tough, and she's good at figuring things out. And I like her in the end because in the end she's smart enough to figure out who the last identity was. So she was a young child, not an actual turtle.
And you said something about an identity. What identity is this?
Well, in the story, Sam Westing was killed murdered.
But it ended up being a wax dummy that was in the coffin.
Okay. So, yes, Rourke is right.
And that
It
was
ended
one
up-
out of 4 identities. Oh.
Sam Westing had 4 different identities, and one of them was Mr. Eastman, Sam Westing, Sandy McSuthers, and what was the last one? I forgot. It's difficult.
Was it Barney?
Oh, it was Barney Northrup. And he had 4 identities, and she figured out the 4th one, the last one that nobody really cared about. And whoever found him, his 4th identity, and met him was the winner. Which was interesting because she's smart now.
And would you recommend this book to other people?
I would recommend this book to younger readers such as us.
Actually,
I would say about middle schoolers, middle to high schoolers. It was a really good book.
yeah, but definitely not something for the little kids.
Yeah, the part that kind of twisted me at first was it was a murder book, so I was confused at first that they had to play a game to find out. But then I realized it's a pretty nice book, and I would recommend it for middle to high schoolers. Any age above 10.
And
10.
Kylie, if you were to give it a number of stars out of 5, how many would you give it?
I would give it a 4.5.
Ah,
The 5, I didn't give it a 5 because it was recommended for middle schoolers, but it was very twisted and it was very confusing. So I think it would be better for minds that can take a lot in, because it was very twisted and confusing at some parts, and some parts I didn't really understand until it was explained. So I would rate it a 4.5.
and Rourke, what would you rate it?
I would rate it a 4.
And why is that?
Well, for the same reasons as Kylie, basically.
Ah, okay. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we end our interview?
Well, the book was a very good book in all, and I loved all of the characters' different kinds of personalities, and it had a very good backstory, theme. It had a very good plot, ending. In the beginning, it introduced every single character one by one, so it was very nice to try and get every character.
Rourke, any final thoughts?
No.
It was a good book.
Okay. Thank you very much, my 2 critics, for your wonderful review of The Westing Game by, who's it by? Ellen Raskin.
Yes. It was by Ellen Raskin. And it was a very good book in all. And we loved it.
Yep.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, and goodbye.
Goodbye, Dark Sharks Animations.
Ah!